Hello, and welcome to Let the Growth Flow, a spiritual place to heal mind, body, and soul. My name is Alexis, and I'll be your host. My hope for this podcast is to help people learn about all things spiritual, at the same time allowing themselves to heal in any way that they need to. I plan to do that by sharing my own spiritual experiences, as well as bringing other spiritual mentors onto the show. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Let the Growth Flow. I am going to just go ahead and start right off the bat this week with a card pull for us. I am using Colette Baron Reed's The Spirit Animal Oracle as always. And I feel like adding in this week that if you guys love listening to these card pulls, please know that you can go buy yourself a deck and do cards for yourself in the morning or in the afternoon or when you feel like it's needed. I think they're such a great tool to tap into your own energy and listen to your own guidance. So let's see what we have for today. Okay, the card we pulled is Snake Spirit, Time to Heal. Interesting card with the holidays coming up. Let's see. All of us need healing at times, and when Snake Spirit appears, it is time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care and maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself the space to nourish your own well-being. Vulnerability is necessary for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself and others now. Shed the past and step into a new way of being, for vitality is rising within you. This might be a good time to honor the work you have done to heal, grow, and repair any damage within you, within those you care about, and within your community. Celebrate together how far all of you have come in your healing journey and all that you have created. Unburden yourself of anything that no longer supports wellness, prosperity, positive relationships, and well-being, and open the door for healing to occur. I feel like this is such a beautiful card to be pulled when this episode is being released for Thanksgiving week here in the US and just holiday seasons in general. It's like time to be around family, and that can either bring up old wounds or make you feel inclined to celebrate how far you've come in your healing journey with yourself and with your family and friends. So open yourself up to healing and be gentle with yourself and others. I think those are like my two biggest takeaways from there. And that vulnerability is necessary for any friendship and partnership to work. I feel like oftentimes a lot of us run away from vulnerability instead of embracing it. And I keep bringing up the holidays. I know Thanksgiving is this week, but also today's podcast episode, I am talking to you guys about how do I take care of myself and my energy during the holidays? So I know it can be a bit tricky at times, and I'm just here to help you guys with my tips and tricks on how to take care of you and your energy during the holidays. So the main things I want to focus on are balance and boundaries, and then your root chakra. So I'm going to start by talking about balance and boundaries. And with balance and boundaries, I think the first step is always to begin to tune into your own body and soul and asking yourself, what do I have to do to be feeling my best? Is it working out and meditating each day? Is it waking up at 6 a.m. and having a cup of coffee in silence before anybody else is awake? Whatever it is, make sure that you do those things. And if you don't know, start asking yourself now before these holiday seasons get even closer and these holidays are here and you're visiting family and out of your routine. So start paying attention. What do you do in your day when you first wake up or throughout your day that makes you feel good? Make sure you're paying attention, take note, write those things down, and then make sure you do those things. The more that you can stay in a routine and in balance of what makes you feel good, the more you're going to be able to give to the others around you and to just be around them in general, which is important during the holidays because a lot of times we're surrounded by family. And then I like to say, once you tune into your body and soul and you're doing what you need to be happy and to feel energized and in a good headspace to be around people, you need to still make sure that you're setting boundaries. Sometimes with family members, the hardest thing is to keep and set boundaries, or to set and keep boundaries. This is where, again, I'm going to really encourage you to tune into yourself and take note of the things that make you feel good and don't feel good, especially any activities you're doing or maybe even comments that are being said, making sure that you're speaking up when something is not feeling good for you or to you. This is also going to help with the overall balance of chakras, because if we're speaking up for the things that hurt us or harm us and don't make us feel good, then that's more of a balance up top in your throat chakra, but also is still keeping you emotionally aligned down in your root chakra. I also feel the need to remind you guys that sometimes people take boundaries in not the best ways, especially our family, because for a very, very long time, society has told us that we, especially in a familial relationship, we should do the things that don't light us up because it's our family. Now that you are most likely an adult and listening to this podcast, I'm here to tell you that setting boundaries can be polite. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. And if your family is taking it as a bad thing or harmful thing, remember this. The people who are upset over you setting boundaries were directly benefiting from you not setting any boundaries. And it may temporarily hurt them or their feelings that you are setting a boundary, but it is not harming them. Let me say that again. It may temporarily hurt them in their feelings that you are setting a boundary, but it is not harming them. Boundaries do not harm other people. They protect you and the other people in the long run, because you are able to do more in return and show up in a more present way, in a more authentic way, if you are doing things that light you up versus doing things that don't light you up and make you feel uncomfortable. So make sure you're setting those boundaries. And boundaries, again, can be difficult with family. So start thinking about that now. Think about the things that are triggering to you that seem to come up all the time when you're near your family, and start writing down boundaries, or maybe even like writing down the speech I put in quotation marks, so to speak, because it's easier to sometimes write your thoughts and feelings down before being in that situation. So if you have that kind of in your notes on your phone, or you've written it down, then you can talk about these things with your family and friends before getting into the holidays or when the time arises. So back into balance, again, after talking about setting the boundaries, I want you to begin to check in on yourself if you are visiting family that you don't see often, or if you're finding yourself reliving or revisiting trauma when you're visiting family. So it can be easy to go backwards in aspects of like turtling in, being angry and upset and resentful, or maybe even feelings of depression, and then kind of isolating yourself. So being mindful, if these things occur, ask yourself a couple questions and check in with yourself. Is anyone currently hurting you or your feelings? Or are you feeling triggered? And once you ask yourself that question and get the answer, I am encouraging you to, again, do what you need to for yourself. And sometimes that is removing yourself from the situation. Awareness, awareness, awareness is key in all these situations. I also wanted to talk about our root chakra in the holiday season and visiting family, especially if you're traveling. Our root chakra. Let's kind of review what our root chakra is. Your root chakra sits at the base of your spine and is connected to your roots, your grounding, survival, body, food, matter, and being. It's very physical. A lot of times when we're visiting family, it can bring up emotional and physical stresses. Honestly, if you're visiting family, traveling to visit family, or if family is coming to your house, it can bring up a lot of physical stress and emotional stress. So if we're thinking roots as an adult, you maybe have made roots outside of the town or city your family currently lives in. So visiting for holidays can result in feelings of uprootedness, while also connecting to familial roots, which I know can be confusing. But to kind of understand what it feels like to be ungrounded and uprooted, I want us to kind of jump back and talk about what emotions and physical parts of our body are connected to our root chakra. So, a balanced root chakra is going to look like emotional stillness, emotional security, and emotional stability. You are very grounded and rooted in who you are and what you believe in and what is okay and what's not okay with you, and nobody can come over and push you over. I want you to imagine that a well-balanced root chakra is a strong, big tree, 20 years old, if not older, really grounded and rooted, and physically well. You would have, kind of no underlying health issues happening in the lower part of your body. An unbalanced or malfunctioning root chakra might look like weight problems, knee troubles, constipation or indigestion, and pain in the feet. So, again, our body can be a huge tool when tuning into our root chakra. So, I just want you guys to be mindful of how you could feel when you are in a great, balanced, aligned root chakra space and an unbalanced or malfunctioning root chakra space. And then I wanted to kind of dive deeper into these feelings of uprootedness and ungroundedness. A lot of times this will occur when change ensues. So changes like traveling, being out of routine can cause this. So this is why it's so important, like we discussed earlier, to try to keep the routines that you normally have in your day-to-day life, even while you're on vacation or visiting family members for holidays. So maybe keeping your routine while still being able to enjoy your time off of work might look like sleeping in slightly, but still drinking that cup of coffee in silence once you wake up, or still sleeping in and then working out and meditating during the day. So just remembering that the closer that you can stay to the normal physicality of your life, the better off your root chakra will be. And another reason we want our root chakra to be in check during the holidays and around visiting family is because you want to have that emotional stability and security so that you are unwavering in any backhanded comments that may slide your way from any aunties and uncles, which, let's face it, can sometimes happen with family. And when you have this emotional stability, you are able to enjoy the presence of your loved ones and be present with yourself, which honestly I think is the most beautiful part about the holiday seasons. And I know for myself, it can sometimes be hard to be present around family because I often will become very uprooted myself, because seeing family always results in traveling and getting out of routine and habits. So, leading off with that, I wanted to share some tips and tricks in balancing your root chakra. So, my favorite 4 things to do to balance root chakras are meditation, exercise, grounding and earthing, and eating the correct foods to fuel your root chakra. So for meditation and exercise, really, I'm going to tell you YouTube is your best friend if you don't know what to do here. I will also be sharing a meditation on YouTube and Instagram this week for staying grounded, so stay tuned for that if you want to listen to my meditation. But Googling or YouTubing meditations to be grounded, or grounding meditation. And then same thing with exercise. Any movement is going to be great for allowing you to reconnect and feel present in your body. But I always recommend Hatha yoga because it is a specifically very grounding practice. So again, YouTube, Hatha yoga, grounding yoga, yoga for the root chakra. Any of those can be easily accessed on YouTube and can help you feel more grounded. The next one we have is grounding and earthing. Now, this is quite literally putting your bare feet into the grass or dirt and allowing your energy to reconnect with Mother Earth. So you might feel more in touch with your woo-woo hippie side doing this, but I want you to think about how electricity needs grounding, because without it, it can't work. And so do we as energetic beings. So grounding can bring you peace, clarity, and rebalancing. But I'm going to say if you do try grounding or earthing, try to give yourself at least 5 minutes of walking or standing barefoot in the grass and bringing your attention to your feet while breathing. So that might look like taking a deep breath in, very like long, slow 5-second inhale, holding it at the top and releasing. During this time, I would also encourage you to bring your attention down to your feet or down to the root chakra space in your body. So again, think end of your spine, root of your spine, kind of focusing on those areas. I would say at least 5 minutes of this to kind of help yourself feel more grounded. You know, the more time you give yourself, the better. I also know some places it's going to be really cold and possibly snowing. So possibly grounding and earthing might not be the best option for you this holiday season. If it's snowy and cold, maybe it is. Maybe you want to try something new. Who am I to decide? And then the last tip I have is eating foods grown from the ground. So I want you guys to think root fruits and vegetables. So veggies like potatoes, radishes, rutabaga, carrots, turnips, and then fruits like apples, oranges, pears. Kind of think anything that would grow up from the ground or fruits that would grow on the tree. So they're connected to the tree that has roots. These foods are going to help you feel more grounded as well, because as we all know, food is medicine. Another huge part of eating in your root chakra is meat and protein. So making sure that you're getting enough meat and protein into your diet as well. I hope all of these tips and tricks help you to stay grounded and at peace this Thanksgiving and the remainder of the holiday seasons. I know that being grounded and present is so important when you're around family members, especially if you don't get to see them often. So I'm really hoping that this can help you. And my meditation for staying grounded will be live Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And I'm going to give you a little updates on business stuff. So on my website, if you sign up for the weekly newsletter at alexisEastIntuitiveHealing.com, you will receive a 10% off discount code on any services, as well as staying up to date with all things Reiki, mediumship, and tips on balancing your own energy. You can book Reiki sessions, medium readings, and your new moon circle spots on my website, AlexisEastIntuitiveHealing.com, or through the link in my bio on Instagram at AlexisEastHealing. And if you like the podcast and enjoy listening, I'm asking you to please leave a review and share it with your friends and family. I hope everybody's root chakras stay balanced and happy, and that you all have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Until next week, let the growth flow. Bye.